Welcome back everyone to Punny Plays the Lore Master, and we are back here in the Silvertine Lodes. You say, why am I back here? And if you remember last time, we finished up the deed for Durance Way, and I thought perhaps that's how far we should place as our goal to do each of the areas is enough in order to complete those deeds. And since I didn't complete the deed for the Silvertine Lodes, I thought, alright, let's come back here and finish that deed up. I suppose we should talk to the dwarves first so that we can actually get quests to complete the deed with. Reclaiming the platform.
I doubt that Lord Balin still lives.
Forgive me for placing yet another burden upon you, but the miners have complained that the platform Medemberge is frequently overrun by goblins or other creatures, and they need it patrolled more frequently to keep the threats at bay, so defeat goblins and other creatures there. Okay, I suppose I could do that. And what else do you need me to do there?
What foul and nameless things we face in Moria, I know not.
Our best hope of finding Mithril in the Silvertine Lodes is to reclaim and repair the platforms of Medemberge, if you ask me. If you would begin to restoring the wheels of the platform... Alright, fine, let's... kill goblins and restore wheels. I suppose we can do that. This is an area where goblins like to ambush you. There is a sneak or three around here. I think we need to go this way. I didn't run it, see, because those are the wheels that we need to take care of. A new deed, a bulwarks of the enemy. Might be useful if we also complete deeds like that. You have discovered Medemberge. That's the problem is whenever you see a J, you're wondering, okay, now, is token like the Y-ish J sound or the J-ish J sound? I will presume not the French J sound either. So I would say it'd either be the English sound or the German sound would be the most likely ones, I would presume. I suppose it goes this way. And so, of course, I always forget which one he intends. There you go. Like that. Now, guards! See, he's a defensive-minded guard, so therefore we're not going to have to... As well as say we're not going to have to worry about stunts, but we do have those sneaks coming around all over the place, so you gotta be careful of those. And of course I'm sure that we'll occasionally get a guard that is a little bit more trickier in the uptake. Alright, that's 6 enemies down. We finally found our first gear wheel, and we'll find these things all over the place. And over here, yeah, defensive on him. And well, we have enough firepower. Fire being a little bit on the literal side here. Aha! Speaking of sneaks, there's one right there. Sneaky, aren't they? There we go. There are also some maps here from the Epic Quest, so you could come here and take care of the maps instead of going into the other location. Though these days you do the other location first, so therefore it's been a long time since I came here for the maps. I think in the early days you had to get the maps from here. I don't think they were in the other location. Either that or the questing was directed in a different way, so that you wound up coming here before you went to the other goblin camp where we took care of all the others. That's the trouble with the way they change the quest sometimes, is you forget how did the quest used to go. can't remember all those little details. And yeah, we got that. Oh, right. Well, just a defensive-minded guard, so therefore not all that much of a problem. Actually, that was a good timing on the plank thing. And that will take care of the last of the wheels. So therefore, let us get out of here. Let us turn in this quest. Oh yeah, right over here. So let's turn in this quest and find out what they inevitably want us to do next. I have dealt with the goblins and started the gears. So therefore, first reclaiming the platform.
I am not sure Khazad-dûm can be restored. The orcs have surely ruined it.
Thank you for your efforts. How about this? Meh at best. Well, I'll take that anyway. Maybe I'll have a closer look at it later. And also,
It is said that Durin's Bane dwells here, though we have not seen it.
Well done, friend. We have Madame Barish back in working order in no time. I decided I prefer Barish because the other sound I just couldn't execute at the end of a word. So therefore, that's what I'll do. What do you need next?
I doubt that Lord Balin still lives.
Light the lamps along the winding path. I couldn't do this when I was doing the other thing, right? No, that would have been too convenient. Much too convenient to ask me to do them in a nice or proper order. Well, at least I don't have to worry about that group again. I'll just have to go down this way and head down piece by piece until I have all these crazy lamps all nice and lit. And of course, it will eventually take us down into the Way of Smiths, which is that area that we unlocked. Or actually, okay, I want to make sure that, right, we did the Way of Smiths unlocking already. Right, of course. Because that's the entire point of all those maps that we collected. Yes, of course. So therefore, there we go. Yes, this is the way you will proceed down if you wanted to go into the Way of Smiths. Now, of course, I could just skip fighting that thing to avoid the danger of being punted off. But I hear a goblin around there. Where that goblin is, I don't know. But there is a goblin around here somewhere, muttering as goblins are wont to do, because they just like muttering around and being a nuisance. I think, yeah, that's the Way of Smiths right there. Good. It's very rare, though, that you actually go through that door. There are 1 or 2 points where it might be useful. I used to use that as my primary way of getting to the Redhorn Lodes, where if I wanted to get to the Redhorn Lodes, I found it easier just to come down all the way down through here, through there, rather than wending all my way through getting lost in through the path that went through. I always get the names because you got stuff that goes through Durin's Hall and all that stuff through Zelamelech or whatever, where you have to go in order to get to the Redhorn Lodes. And I found that to be a real pain. I always got lost and stuff like that. So therefore, I would just come down there, go through that way, and I'd get to the Redhorn Lodes without any real trouble. And then from there, I'll be able to unlock Orc Watch to use. Now, there are easier ways to get there, and I even keep on forgetting the much easier way. The almost easier way was to do all the quests through Zelamelik. And that would eventually get you close to the Redhorn Lodes. But the easiest way is that once you do a number of those Zelamelik quests, you can just go back to the 21st Hall, and then there's a goat from the 21st Hall that takes you to the Redhorn Lodes. And I keep on forgetting about that goat that makes it very, very easy. So I took the, well, at least you're close so that you have a decent chance of finding it location instead. Alright, I lit those lamps for you.
Balin came, but we have heard no word from him.
Oh well, you haven't heard any word or have you been trying hard enough in order to get any word from him? I suppose not. Well then, thank you. And I guess this guy needs us to do something. What do you need us to do?
Stand and speak with me. The fate of Khazad-dûm hangs in the balance.
You want me to scout passages so that we can find out which ones are good? Goofy. What a name! What a name. Goofy. Alright, fine. What's the state of this passage? Is it in good shape? Oh, it stops in a dead end right here. Oh, what a shock. Maybe the fact that the thing there is called dead end might have been a little bit of a hint. Alright, there we go. Well, the rail's not in good shape. Passage is intact though, but I sense a dread hanging around the tunnel. Ooh. And here we've got glowworms. So do glowworms count as a dead end? Well, we'll give a dead end to the glowworm. How about that? Oh, that was a little bit faster than I thought. But alright. Number 2. Oh, that looks like a pit there. It's going to take them a few years in order to get Moria up into good shape, I would think. And here... Yeah, okay, there's the dead end right there. There's also a Drakeling right over there, which we'll have to also deal with. We're finding these things all over the place. And can I get this through examining before he attacks? Yes, I can. So therefore, let us now, I think we could just post signs now at the dead ends. And we have some nice convenient posts for doing this. And here we go. And there you go, one sign saying that this is a dead end. And it's really interesting. I've done this on a few occasions in small fellowships. And when you have 3 people posting signs, you actually do see 3 different signs popping up there. So therefore the signs were being loaded up in triplicate just to make sure that everyone knew that yes, these are dead ends and not any place that's going to be easily navigable. And that's the last of our signs there. Oh, there you are. Hello, posted.
The time has come to drive forth the orcs from our kingdom.
Dread down the intact passage? Bah! A dwarf does not fear a little dreariness in a mine shaft. According to you, this is the best and only road, and so that is where we will begin. Really? So, what are we going to do about that?
We have seen naught of Durin's bane. Be wary if you journey into Moria.
According to our maps and Balin's own records, there is a mining site along the tunnel where you begin to fret for your safety. You should try to overcome your worry and see if you can find their balanced expedition. Alright, I suppose we can go out there and find this out.
Mithril it is called by the elves, and true silver in the common tongue, but the dwarves do not share their own secret name. The hope of finding it has led many dwarves to their doom in Moria, for they seldom heed the dire warnings when their hearts yearn for Mithril, cold and bright in the dark.
Mithril. me. I'm always just trying to figure out. I realize that Tolkien is not a metallurgist, so therefore he was not thinking of any particular element, compound, or I guess alloy would be more appropriate than compound. We're talking about metals here. Any particular element or alloy that would be representing of Mithril. So I really can't think of what could have the characteristics of Mithril, because we know that Mithril has some of the characteristics of silver, being that it is bright, probably easily repolishes after being tarnished or anything like that. In other words, silver in its style, perhaps, in its color, and probably restoration properties. It's light, which is something that silver definitely is. That silver is heavier than iron, what we call regular silver, of course. So therefore you've got silver, you've got iron there, which now they compare it to steel in that it is I think it's as strong as steel, and so the question is, if Tolkien were a metallurgist or something like this, then of course he would have been probably intending some real world metal to have been represented by it or something like that. But when you're trying to come up with a legendary world with legendary things that probably have their likes don't exist anymore or something like that, then you might not be exactly looking for real world analogs when you're creating something of that sort. We're talking about things of legends, not things necessarily of the real world or anything like that. You're always curious there is, okay, what metal could he be meaning? And of course, especially when you're talking about in context with Ziegelbert or something like this, because I presume that Ziegelbert is going to hold its edge extremely, extremely well. I have to have some advantage. Okay, well, it looks like it's no longer safe for any miners. Okay, fine. That Ziegelbert was most likely... Okay, it's not going to have the advantage that you usually have with an axe, and that is this big, hefty weight, because it's mithril, it's supposed to be light, backed up by an edge. So therefore, what would it be that gives it such a sharp edge that it would be considered to be advantageous to use that over a regular axe? Something to think about. The best candidate I can think of for the moment would be titanium, because it's lighter than steel, can be stronger in some contexts, but it's a real pain to work with, which is probably why it would, in the tech here, be such a precious metal, because either A, only the dwarves knew how to do it, or only here could you find it in such a quality that it could be readily worked with without going through processes that are unknown even to the dwarves. But I think we need to return this question to Goofy.
The time has come to drive forth the orcs from our kingdom.
By axe and sword, Pine Wolf! You have my deepest apologies. I did not realize how bad things were really down there. We will need an entire garrison to clear the mines properly. All right. Thank you for that. And now, what do we need here? Completed quests in the Silvertine Lodes. Well, I don't need to go any further. I concluded with that deed, so therefore that finishes off the Silvertine Lodes. We finished off last time Durin's Way, And I think that next time we need to head out to the 21st Hall when we return to the next episode of Piney Plays the Lore Master.